The first morning I woke up in my new house, I thought I'd finally escaped hell. No more HOA fines, no more warning letters, no more smug committee presidents breathing down my neck. But before the sun even hit noon, the devil herself showed up in a blazer and sunglasses, and by the end of the day, she'd accused me of assault, called the cops, and dragged her husband into a fight on my front lawn. The only reason I didn't end up in handcuffs, I had it all on camera. That morning had started perfect, quiet, peaceful, the kind of silence that feels earned. No lawnmower drones, no HOA newsletters reminding me the color of my mailbox was non-compliant, just wind through pine needles and the sound of my kids snoring upstairs. I stepped outside barefoot, coffee in hand, watching fog rise off the hills like a curtain opening on a brand new life. For the first time in years, I felt free. I'd promised myself this 20 acres of private land in High Pines County, Colorado. No shared zoning, no board meetings, no community standards. After losing nearly everything in Whitestone Hills, the fines, the lawsuits, the 2-year war with that goddamn HOA, I swore I'd never live under their rules again. I sold the house, the marriage collapsed, and I started over. This land was mine, every inch of it. And then she walked up my driveway. At first I thought she was some neighbor dropping by to welcome me, cookies, maybe a plant. But this woman wasn't carrying anything except a leather folder and a look that could sand paint off a wall. Short blonde bob, stiff blazer, designer sunglasses. She didn't knock, didn't smile, just marched right up and said, "Good morning. I'm Karen Foster, president of the High Pines Preserve Homeowners Association." I froze. Karen Foster. That name hit me like a punch to the ribs. I knew that voice. Whitestone Hills. 4 years ago. The same Karen who fined me 18 grand for a treehouse I built with my son called it an unsightly recreational hazard. The same woman who turned my dream home into a prison with landscaping bylaws. "You're the president here?" I asked, keeping my voice calm. "Correct," she said with that fake civil tone that sounds polite but means obey me. She opened her folder, handed me a pen. "According to our revised jurisdictional map, your property now falls within HOA boundaries. You're required to sign these and become a member in good standing." I laughed. "This property isn't under your jurisdiction. I made sure of that before I bought it." Her smile didn't even twitch. "That information is outdated. The county approved a new boundary map last month. All new owners in the buffer zone." "Buffer zone," I cut her off. "Lady, this isn't a military occupation." She didn't blink. "Noncompliance is enforceable." I pointed toward the end of the driveway. "You're trespassing. Leave." Karen tilted her head, studying me like a bug under glass. "If you think you can move here and ignore community standards," she said, voice dripping with condescension, "you're in for a rude awakening." I smiled back. "Lady, I am the rude awakening." She spun on her heel and stomped off. Gravel cracked under her heels like gunfire. I stood there, heart pounding, coffee forgotten, and knew it wasn't over. Not by a long shot. By mid-afternoon, the sun was blazing. I was breaking down moving boxes when I heard the crunch of gravel again. My stomach dropped. "Mr. Burke, open the door, right now." It was her. Same blazer, same damn folder. But now she was furious. "I tried being civil," she barked. "Your refusal to cooperate is a violation of HOA statutes. You're obstructing enforcement." "You're obstructing my moving day," I said, "and I'm not in your HOA." "You are now." She shoved a map in my face, color-coded like a child's drawing. "See this line? You're lot 12. I leaned closer, smirking. "That's not even my street. You drew over the creek. That's a natural boundary. It's included now." "In your imagination," I muttered. Something in her snapped. She slammed the folder shut, her face twitching. "You think this is funny? You're mocking a legal entity." "I'm mocking you." That did it. She kicked one of my boxes, dishes shattered across the porch. My daughter Lily gasped from the doorway. "Stop," I shouted. "Now." She froze, glaring. Then she picked up a broken plate and dropped it, letting it shatter. "I'll make sure you're out of here by next week." She stormed toward the moving truck, yanking at the latch like she owned it. "Step away from the truck," I warned. "You're assaulting me right now," she shrieked. "Yeah, call the cops. I'll make the call first." I dialed 911, told the dispatcher there was an aggressive trespasser damaging property, frightening my kids. Karen, meanwhile, was screaming into her phone, "He's attacking me. He's violent." My son came to the door. "Dad, what's happening?" "Inside," I said. "Lock the door." Karen turned toward them. "Get those kids off my lawn." My patience snapped. "Karen, you need to leave. The police are coming. You're on camera." I pointed to the garage camera. Her face twisted. "You can't prove." "Try me." She hesitated, then backed off to her car, muttering, "I thought it was over." Until she screamed into her phone again, "Richard, get over here right now. He attacked me." I didn't know who Richard was, but I found out fast. 5 minutes later, a black pickup tore up the road, dust flying. A huge guy jumped out, mirrored shade security jacket jaw like a cinder block. "You Jonathan Burke?" "Yeah. Who's asking?" "You laid your hands on my wife." I blinked. "Excuse me?" Karen got out phone recording. "That's him. He attacked me." "Sir," I said, calm but firm, "I didn't touch your wife. You need to calm down." He shoved me in the chest. Not hard, but enough. "Back off," I said quietly. Karen shouted, "He pushed me. Look, he bruised me." She held up her arm like she was auditioning for a soap opera. Richard's eyes went dark. He swung. The punch caught my shoulder. Reflex kicked in. I twisted his wrist, kneed him in the gut, stepped back with my hands up. "Don't make this worse," I said. Karen screamed, "He's attacking him again." Then sirens, red and blue flashing against the trees. Everything froze. Richard straightened up like nothing happened. "Officers." "That's him. Arrest him." Karen burst into tears on cue. "He's dangerous, I told you." I raised my hands. "I'm the one who called. They broke onto my property. It's all on camera." The cops watched my footage in silence. Karen yelling, breaking boxes, calling her husband. Me calm, keeping distance. Richard charging at me. Finally, one officer turned to her. "Ma'am, care to explain why you entered his property?" Karen stammered. I'm the HOA president. This is community land." "Not according to county records," he said flatly. Richard tried to speak. The officer cut him off. "Sir, keep your hands visible." Within minutes, they were both in the back of the cruiser. Karen's mascara-streaked eyes burning holes through me. "You'll regret this," she hissed. The door slammed shut. I stood there, shoulder-throbbing, shirt torn, adrenaline buzzing in my veins. The yard was a mess, broken, dishes, boxes everywhere, my kids crying behind the curtain. And for a second, I almost lost it. I wanted to pack up, leave, pretend none of it happened. Because somehow, even after all I'd done to escape, it had followed me here. Maybe I was cursed. Maybe I was the problem. But then I looked at that camera above the garage, my proof, and I realized this time I wasn't powerless. This time I'd fight back with facts. The next morning I called my lawyer, Theo Hayes. Calm guy, but sharp as a blade. I told him everything. He didn't flinch. "You should go after them," he said. "Civil suit. Hit them where it hurts." "Planning to," I said. He chuckled. "Good, but if she was that bold, she's not working alone. Send me everything." That afternoon, I posted a short clip online, security footage, captions like, "She said I assaulted her. Here's what really happened." I wasn't trying to go viral, just needed the truth out there. By nightfall, 200,000 views. By morning, over 1 million. The comments flooded in, people sharing their own HOA nightmares. One guy got fined for a snowman inflatable, another for parking in his own driveway. Turns out I wasn't alone. Then I got an envelope, no name, no return address. Inside a flash drive and a note, "Karen isn't the only problem. Watch the board meeting." July 14th. It was a Zoom recording, Karen in her blazer running a meeting. But the real kicker was the man beside her, Don Sanders, vice president. He leaned in and said, "As long as we file before homeowners challenge it, we're golden. Most can't afford to fight. We just drain them." Karen nodded. "Start with the new guy on the hill. He looks like trouble." That new guy was me. My blood ran cold. They weren't just power hungry, they were running a racket. I sent the footage to Theo. He said, "You just turned your case into a class action." I posted a snippet online, blurred faces, just the words, "They plan to bankrupt homeowners." It blew up. 5 million views overnight. News outlets picked it up. CBS Colorado called for an interview. 2 days later, I told my story on camera. Every lie, every trespass, every punch. The footage spoke for itself. Within a week, the HOA imploded. Karen resigned for health reasons. Don Sanders' clip leaked on Reddit. He quit too. Other homeowners came forward, dozens of them. The DA pressed charges Karen for trespassing, vandalism, false report. Richard for assault and intimidation. I pressed civil charges, property damage, emotional distress, attempted extortion. The day of sentencing, I sat in court as the judge read it all out. Karen, 18 months probation, mandatory therapy. Public apology, no contact within 500 feet. Richard, 3 months in county jail and 10 grand in fines. The HOA withdrew all claims over my property. When the gavel hit, I didn't smile, I just exhaled. A few days later, I bolted a steel sign at the end of my driveway. Private property. No HOA. Trespassers will be recorded, reported, and prosecuted. It wasn't revenge, it was closure. Because in the end, this wasn't about fines or bylaws or even Karen. It was about control, and the moment I stopped letting her define mine. Freedom isn't the absence of rules. It's the moment you decide who gets to make them.